Yes, y'all. Yes, y'all. I'm old school, but I keep it funky fresh, y'all. And this is deep, y'all. I'm from the deep, y'all. And what you get is what you motherfucking see.
Welcome back, humans! You know what day it is. My name is Jaime, giving you exclusive events on headlines that you didn't even know you needed. And with that said, let's get on with some vents. Fight! Okay, so, I love me some conspiracies. I love me some strange news headlines. The politicians, they give you some endless content for days. Sometimes you gotta just leave them alone for a while because, man, oh man, I swear, you talk about the last prez was talking about all his ratings. I mean, these dudes be talking some, the old dudes losing it all the time. It's golden. But anyways, I got some strange headlines, and I was looking through this stuff, and I'm like, wow, this is what, which comes to my title. Like, is this real news? Okay, so this stuff, apparently, like I said before, it shocks me people are getting paid to write these articles. But I also do support support people working as well. This woman says, I still breastfeed my 5-year-old son. People say it's weird, and she doesn't care. I could understand why people would say it's weird because your son is 5 years old. I mean, you're getting close. I mean, your kid's already like school age. Like, what do you do when he's at school age? You can't go with him and breastfeed him at school. You might be getting him into some, social disturbance, because kids will find out that he's still got mommy's boob in his mouth. And he could be like getting bullied. You could be setting him up for some disasters here. Jeez. People say when you're younger, you want to teach your kids some good morals and, teach them to be, better than you were sometimes. Like maybe because you made some mistakes at your age. And you always want to, maybe teach them things that maybe hope they don't make the same mistakes you do. But, it's a vicious cycle out there. It doesn't matter what you do. Kids are going to do what kids are going to do. And you always want them to be independent. Like I said, grow up to be smart and things like that. But that's going to be real difficult, if you're going to driver's training and you got your mom's boob in your mouth. You got to bring mom with you in case you get thirsty. Or what if you become a late teenager and your mom's still, letting you, feed and, you're experimenting with like drugs at an early age. Maybe you're experimenting with like some marijuana and you get the munchies. Do you creep into mom's room when you grab the cookies and brownies and go get some milk? Like this one could be some weird setup. You could be setting up a different, instead of an independency, you could be creating a dependency. Like maybe the kid could be like, don't want to let go of mom. I got to stick around, mom. Like, sorry, you, I can't help, mom. I just always want to think about you. Or something weird. Like you could do some weird mental blockage, like I said. Or like I said before, you could have a real bad social problem. The kid could be bullied because they find out, your mom's all, your mom doesn't say your age. You're like 7 and your mom's still calling you by months. It's like, how old are you? I'm 60 months. Like if you're hanging out with kids and you tell them like you're still, and you're in school and you're 5 years old and you still tell them you're like 60 months, they're gonna mess with you. They're gonna mess with you. So I don't know. Like I mean, you should care. Maybe this is a little selfish on the mom's side, or maybe moms might get offended that I'm offended by her wanting to breastfeed her kid when he's almost double digits. Like when your child is like, of age of getting ready to go to school. Could that cause problems at school? Like I said, what if he wants to reject the food because it's not mom's boob? We got to think about that, humans. We got to think about that. We want kids to grow up and be, adults. So we'll see. We'll have to see about that. And in another strange article, like I said before, that shocks the heck out of me. Like, well, this can't be real news. This can't be real news. But apparently it is real news. And this article, why guys get turned on when you orgasm and why that's a bad thing. Okay. They say on the bottom, also this little, caption on the bottom of the article, of course guys manage to make your orgasms about themselves. Now, this could be a really confusing to a lot of men out here because you've always seen, even jokes in like rom-coms of things like that. Like if you had a guy or like even like when you were a kid, and you was like a young kid and shit like that, they'd be like, oh, that guy's a 2-pump chump. And like, oh, that's a quick draw McGraw. Like it was like a bad thing to be like fast in bed and stuff like that. But now a man will be confused in the single game or a man in a relationship could be really confused by this because maybe a woman doesn't have these same thoughts as the person in this article. Maybe she wants an orgasm, but this dude's going to be over here like, look, I'm sorry it didn't happen, but I was just, in his defense, he can be like, I just didn't want to be selfish. Could that be the new thing coming out in these new articles? He'd be like, I just didn't want to be selfish. That's why that happened. Sorry. You could be like on first date or when you guys, or maybe not a first date, but the first time you guys decide to be intimate together and it was a real quick flash and they're all, look, you guys don't have to be disappointed anymore because that way you just didn't, your defense, you just didn't want to be selfish. That's a good backup. It's a good backup. But yeah, you would like, you hear all these things back in the day, this guy was real quick. Or you would hear something like, or like, what was another one? That's not it, or something like that. Or you would hear a girl talking the next time. Are you going to call the guy back? Are you going to call this guy back? I don't know, man. He was kind of quick. But in a positive note, he really wasn't, he didn't make it about me. That's going to be real confusing because you always want to put, you would think you want the men, you already say like chivalry's already dying. Chivalry's shriveling away as it is. Like if there's any little specks of it out there. And you're going to have people out here having this cop-out. Men now can have this cop-out, and it's going to probably cause more problems when you hear all these conspiracies about, they're trying to create all this, like when you go into like Andrew Tate talk and stuff like that, when he was like, it's a psyop. Everything is a psyop. When he said they want to make men think that you don't need women, and women you think you don't need men, and the children think you don't need parents, and like all this, stuff, which maybe it could be true, but I don't know. But this right here could cause part of this separation if a dude's reading articles out here and he thinks like, man, I better not be selfish. Or he can laugh it off. Like, I was, instead of saying like, oh, I was just overly excited. Like you have like this is like the new ultimate get out of jail free card. He's be like, I wasn't being selfish. How many females might like this? I'm not sure. If you want any females out there in the comments, please let me know in the comments of what you would think here. Are you okay with this person? Are you offended if someone gave you an orgasm? Like, now is the orgasm going to be offensive? After it becomes offensive, are the cancel culture going to get a hold of it and make orgasms racist? That would be another interesting thing coming up. And maybe you heard it first here that orgasms are going to be racist next. Because right now they're offensive to women. First, they were scarce in women. And now, according to this person who got paid to write this article, which I disagree with, they're saying it's offensive if you give a woman an orgasm because it's about the dude. It's about the men now. Like, yeah, I did it and now it's like about me. I think you'd be like, I don't know where to go on that one. I just think that's wild. I feel like that one's a trap because I think it's going to set up to make orgasms racist next. They're going to try to cancel orgasms. I say, if this article come here, I feel like this is the prequel to canceling orgasm. So beware of that, humans. Talk about population control. Ain't nobody going to be fucking, if orgasms are going to be offensive. Especially if people are going to start using it as a get out of jail free card. We'll have to stay tuned to that one. That's for sure, humans. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. My name is Jaime, and this has been another episode of Meant to Vent. Till next time, humans. See ya.